Episode 9, the mighty 9, of moving my game from Unity to Godot. Last time we did some polishing. Looks like we didn't do enough, but that we've got to fix today. Cool. One cool thing, last time was launching real slow. This time it's fixed. So that's great. Restarting the PC did it. Who did it? Restarting the PC did it. Oh no. One thing people in the comments have been suggesting is that I have to use Jolt for physics. I don't have to, but it's recommended, I'm pretty sure. That should be pretty simple. I'm pretty sure I can just drag and drop this here. Extract it. Delete the zip file. And then I'll need to restart. That was really quick. And then I should go to project settings and like physics. Jolt 3D enabled. No, what? Physics engine, Jolt physics. I was using default. I wasn't even using Godot physics. Cool. Save and restart. And we're here. Is that working now? Can I just play? And now the puddles work. That's amazing. Cool. Okay. That's a lot better. Another thing I want to fix is whenever you start moving, the FOV increases, and that should be only for the run animation. So I want to fix that. And now that is working. So only when we're running, it goes up and then comes down. It goes up and it comes down. It goes up and it comes down. Same as my progress with this game. Hell yeah. Alright, next thing I want to do is, I don't know why I closed the game, I wanted to show you, is that there's some inconsistency with the UI. Because this panel is transparent, yeah, it's transparent. I want it to be like solid, but I also don't want to change that every time. And there's this thing on the UI called theme. And I do have a theme, which is somewhere, data, and then themes. I got this base theme, and I want to add a panel container type, stylebox flat, yes. Base theme panel container styles, panel, new stylebox flat, and then I'll just set that to 464646. All right, this is gonna be, can I rename it? This is called panel light, and I want to have another panel which is going to be called panel dark. Okay, and it's going to be stylebox flat. How do I edit it? Whoa, the fuck is that? Okay, that's the other one, and that one is going to be 333 333 333, and that should be it. Now I should be able to apply those, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it already applied it. Cool. Yeah, it is. Okay, I didn't change it. Okay, I think I got it working finally, or I finally figured it out somehow. But there's no hover info at the moment. What did I do? Why the fuck is that not showing up now? Okay, that's really weird. Why is hover info not showing? Oh, my bad. It was not showing up. I was doing it too quickly and then I added the timer to show it up. Okay, my bad. Oh my god. I'm getting dumber and dumber every day. Yesterday I did that stupid thing with not giving it... You know what happened. Alright. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to do. Because the UI looks fine now. Or, well, it doesn't, but I'm happier with it. Oh yeah, I wanted to add the right click to item thingy, and that should be done on the inventory slot, and that should also be a part of the inventory. I'm pretty sure I already have a right click scene somewhere. Kit UI. Yeah, right click menu. It already exists. Cool. I want to change it because it's currently this. minimum size and the y-axis. Yeah, that's how I do it. I'll do 40 for each. Alright, so I have 2 buttons, and buttons don't have text. Oh, but they can. So I'm gonna have a destroy, and I'm gonna have a use. And this panel, is it transparent again? I don't think so. Right, so we're gonna add that to our inventory. Right there. We're gonna hide it whenever the game starts, so it's fine. Actually, I forgot one thing. I wanna make sure that this does not catch the mouse. Actually, the buttons can be smaller. I think this is a bit too big for the buttons. I'll go with 30 maybe, or 25. 25 is much nicer. Yeah, and I can make everything smaller. So just the panel, I should be able to resize it, and then it will resize everything else, which is great. All right, and we want to show this whenever we right-click on an inventory slot. So it should be probably done in here. Okay, so it has a GUI input, which is emitted when the node receives an input event. I could probably check if that's. So I'll do function on right click. On right click, let's make the code first. So on right click, I should probably have a variable for the, yeah, we should have a reference to a right click menu. Actually, no, I'm doing it the wrong way again. Fuck. I want to do the same thing I did in the hover info. Basically, in the start function, I do a for loop through each slot, and then I do it there because I think that's a lot nicer. Oh, my bad. So in the ready function, we're just gonna do this. All right, and that should go through all of them. So I want to connect the show method with a signal of GUI input, which gives me an input event. And I should probably have another custom signal here, signal on input, I'll call it. And then on input is actually gonna be here. And I wanna check if, and it should take a event, right? Event, type input event. And then I can pass and should be able to connect it. Yeah, on input. So I want to call on input there, and on input is going to emit a signal on input. No, on right click. Fuck, on right click. My bad. On right click. And it's going to emit on right click. And I don't think it should pass anything there. Okay, so I get the input, I call on input. Okay, and this is where I also check if, you know, it's a thing. The event is a input event mouse button, and event.button index is equal to 1, which is the right click. I will emit signal on right click. Cool. So I get the input, I call this function, I check, and then I emit only if it's the right click. Cool. And now I want to subscribe my show method of the right click menu to my on right click. Right. So I want to do on right click, and this is going to be show callable show on right click. Cool. And on end hover, I want to subscribe the hide method. Whenever we end hover on the inventory slot. That should kind of work, maybe. Okay, so I didn't start the recording whenever I started making this for some reason, but I got the right click menu to work like that. And then you can use, and then you can destroy. I just did this and I looked over my second screen and saw that it wasn't recording. But yeah, currently it just debugs the message, but it's not actually doing anything. But the way it's working is I have a method on the inventory slot that on input checks if it's a mouse button event and if the event is released. then I match with the event button index. Actually, I can just check if I don't have to match. Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything else with the left click. Is equal to mouse button right. Okay. And then I check if the slot also has, if the slot has an item, and if it does, it emits a signal on right click, which goes to the right click menu and calls the show method. Also another thing, I had my hide method on mouse exit on the right click menu, but it was hiding whenever it got to the button, because the button would stop the mouse and it will call mouse exit on the actual right click menu. But I got that fixed by calling on mouse exited. Whenever the mouse exits, we check if the global mouse position is has a point or is inside the global rect of the right click menu. So now it's not based on did it actually exit this element. It's based on, is it inside the rectangle of the right click menu, which is this box right here. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Now all I have to do is get the inventory index or the item slot index from the slot when I right click it. Also, this is kind of annoying, so I'll just kind of fix that real quick using a export variable padding of vector 2. And on the right click menu, I will set that to be on the x-axis like 5 and 5, and then whenever I set the position, I'll set the mouse position and plus padding, or actually it should be -5 on the y-axis, I'm pretty sure. So now it should kind of show up with a little bit more space for the mouse. Oh, my bad. It's actually +5, but I'll do 8 and 8. Oh, it should be minus for the X position, right? Yeah. Okay. 8 on the X. Actually, no, -8 on the X and 8 on the Y. My brain is not braining at the moment. Well, it hasn't been for the past week. And the Y position should also be negative. All right, -8. Cool. And if I pick up an item, yeah, it gives you a little bit more space for the mouse. All right, to get the inventory slot, we can pass in some data using a signal to our right-click menu. On our right-click menu, we want to get a variable for current slot index. So that's the index of the slot that's currently selected. It'll be of type int. And all this is going to do is on the slot inventory, whenever we right-click a slot right here, we also want to emit a signal. Actually, we can subscribe that. Ooh, my bad. We can subscribe that to our on right-click. We'll emit a on right-click signal, and it will also pass a slot index. And on right-click in our right-click menu, which is actually show here, it's gonna take in a slot index of type int, and we're gonna set our current slot index equal to slot index like that. And whenever we hide, we're gonna set cur slot index equal to -1, so we're not accidentally setting it to 0. And here I'm just gonna call hide instead of setting it to false. So now it should we should be able to get that, and whenever we show, I'll just print debug the cur slot index. Hopefully that'll work. Let me actually move the window a bit. It gives 1, it gives 0 here. If I move it somewhere else, now it gives 3, which is correct, and here it should give 22. I did not count, it's just what it is. Cool, now we have our slot index. Now we also need a export variable inventory of type inventory. We can assign our inventory to our right-click menu. And then whenever we use, we want to call a method on our inventory item, which currently doesn't have that method. So we're just going to go with function use item. And all it's going to do for now is just print debug used item, and then we're going to add a name. And I think I'm doing this whenever I do interactions. So the inventory item interactable or the base interactable debugs has also use. So I'm just gonna remove that debug. I mean, it should be picked up, but it doesn't matter. When we use a interact, yeah, this should probably be interact actually. I'm gonna change that real quick, and it's gonna be a bunch of errors. In the destroy interactable, and this is gonna be interact. And in our inventory item interactable, this should be interact. And also in our interaction controller, we want to check if hit has method interact, then that means inserted. That makes much more sense. I don't know why I went with use. Let me just see if I have use somewhere else. No match, cool. Yeah, it changed it here for some reason. I don't know how, but okay. Back to our inventory. So in our inventory item, we're gonna use item whenever we right click on our menu here. So use, we're gonna go inventory.item container. Oh my bad, it's not item container, it's item container dot item slots cursor index.item.use. And here in the destroy, we're gonna say inventory dot item container dot destroy, or sorry, remove at, and we're gonna remove at cur slot index. That should now work, hopefully. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to change this from use to interact. Okay, my bad. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Okay, it's working now. If I do use, oh, I'm calling use, it should be use item. My bad again. Used item can meet. Cool. Okay, and now this kind of gets me into the territory of inventory item is not the only thing I'm gonna need. I'm gonna also need a consumable item. For example, if you use a consumable item, you probably want to remove one stack of it from the inventory. Then you maybe want a weapon item, which, you know, can do some other stuff. So just for, do I have time? I do. I don't, but it's fine. I'm gonna create a new item, which is gonna extend from inventory item, and it's gonna be called consumable item. Consumable item.gd. Okay. And whenever we use this item, we're also gonna need a reference to our stats. Now this is the tricky part, which I'm gonna figure out next time. So for now, just print debug health value, maybe. But now I can create a new item, and that I'm gonna create a new folder for that. Consumables. And I'm gonna create a new resource of, and this should probably be a class name as well, right? I'm gonna create a new resource of consumable item, which is going to be a item, or sorry, consumable. Let's do the canned tuna. I have my inventory item variables, which is going to be canned tuna, and I don't remember what the description was, so I'll just go here and copy that. A can of questionable tuna. That's a great description. I'm gonna have a icon for canned tuna, or canned goods blue, I'm pretty sure that is. Max stack of 6, and then I'm gonna add like 10 health, 10 stamina, 10 hunger, and 10 thirst. Just for now, doesn't matter. And then on my canned tuna item, which is a scene inside of my, I'm just talking out loud here. Pickup and canned tuna is going to have a new interactable variables, resource, item, canned tuna. No, I want it to be a consumable canned tuna. Will that work now? I am exactly not sure. It should debug the health value, and this should be my canned tuna, right? No, this is it. Is this canned tuna? That's canned beans, my bad. Canned tuna, right click, use. Oh, it did, it works. Cool. I just put the wrong icon on it. Okay, it was can blue, right? No. Suffering from success. I have too many. That's train again, that's my bad. It's not my bad, I don't care, it's train. I can't change it. I wish I could. I would have derailed that train a long time ago. And railed your ma. Now I can delete this item item canned tuna, and now we have a consumable, which works. Now, next step would be to create recreate the stats. That's also another polish thing I wanted to do, because currently the player stats look like this. And that wouldn't be a problem unless it was all just variables. So I want to create some kind of a resource. Well, this would basically be a resource. I mean, but this can't be a resource because it has so many functions and signals and everything. But I would create like a character stats resource that has all of these variables, and then I would import it in here and use that and change those. And I think that would actually allow me to save them. I'm not sure if resources save on disk during runtime. Pretty sure they do, don't they? Even if they don't, it will be much easier to save the data from a resource than from a class or script here. Yeah, so that's unfortunately all the time I have for today. This is going very slowly, but surely it is. And also, before I forget, I can remove these debugs right here. And this debug right here, because I'm so annoyed when there's like runaway debug code going everywhere. Now I can use an item, and this one will show up how much health it will actually change. Cool. Also, another polish thing, I should probably stop the movement while I'm in the inventory. That's fine. Okay, yeah, that's it for today. Kind of a weird video, all over the place, but I'm also all over the place. I'm really hoping for a free day of work at some point, because I'm kind of going crazy right here, going cuckoo. But yeah, I guess until the next update then. Bye now.